Delighted that Janis Joplin is back. I would like to read you a few lines from Newsweek magazine. Wait a minute. Oh, right here in my untidy desk. Remember, there's a terrific picture of Janis. Maybe she doesn't think so. I should have cleared it with. This is on Newsweek's cover some weeks back. And Janis is, there's an article called Rebirth of the Blues. And in it, someone said, at the first and now historic 1967 Monterey International Pop Festival, a volatile vial of nitroglycerin named Janis Joplin blew the rock world wide open. Singing with a tortured passion that has become her trademark, she unleashed Big Mama Thornton's classic Ball and Chain. And since then, this 26-year-old white girl from Port Arthur, Texas, has gone on to be the first female superstar of rock music. And she is. Will you welcome Janis Joplin? Not bad. Well, here we are together again at last by popular demand. How are you?
I'm well tired.
What have you done to kill time since you were on my old show?
I've been working.
Really have?
Yeah. We did Europe. I went to Europe.
Yeah.
I played over there about a month. Scared him to death, I think.
Did you have fun?
No, I had a terrible time.
Did you really?
Nobody really gets loose and nobody rocks over there. They're all so cerebral. They're very cerebral. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. They sit analyzing the meaning of your work and not appreciating it.
They don't get down.
They over-intellectualize. They cerebrate. They ratiocinate excessively. That's what the Limeys do. It wasn't just England. It was all over.
No, England, Amsterdam, Paris, Stockholm, Copenhagen.
May I light your fire, my child?
That's my favorite singer, as you know. I guess not.
Apparently not, no. Well, I would have bet against it myself. Anyway, it's good to see you. Hey, why is it? I was thinking about it the other day. There aren't very many of you. By this, I mean... No. I mean, superstar rock ladies like yourself. Who else? There's Mama Cass, maybe, and Gracie Slick. She's giggling, isn't she? Why aren't there more ladies who do what you do?
Singing?
No, what the kind of you do? I know a lot of ladies sing, I mean, but you're not in the same category with Kate Smith, or maybe Joe Stafford, but
I don't know why. I always wondered because it seems so natural to me, but I don't know, it's not feminine maybe, that's why. I mean, to get out and really get into music, get on the bottom side of the music instead of float around on the top like most chick singers do. I think they on the top of the melody instead of get into the feeling of the music. I don't know.
That's a good enough answer for me. Do you read much?
Yeah, plain.
You ever sit home quietly by the fire rereading Dickens or...
It's not my style, really.
No, I often wonder what you do on an off night. Maybe you don't have any. They keep you working so much.
We work. We work a lot, yeah.
Would you say you hate the road?
It has a lot of bad things about it. I mean, you're alone a lot, and you're in strange cities a lot, but then you get to play a lot. And I think ultimately that's what people in music are after. That's just one of the dues you have to pay to play music. I mean, you can't stay in your hometown and play because, you know, the people get tired of seeing you.
Yeah. I'm always going to wonder what it feels like to do what you do up there. I have a feeling, I saw you at Fillmore and a couple other places, and it's really an ecstatic effect that you have. And there's no way my doing those little monologues isn't quite the same thing. I often wonder if...
That's because you're on top of it instead of on the bottom.
I'm on the wrong side of it?
Well, I didn't say that.
Oh, what does that mean I'm on the top of it?
Well, I was talking about singing.
Yeah.
It's just like an attitude, I think, that you can approach, well, anything with. I never thought of it until 5 minutes ago. Well. But, you know, it's on getting on the, underneath, on the movement, the rhythm of whatever you're into instead of just skirting it and looking at it. You understand what I'm saying?
I think so. Do you ever have a whole night, though, when that doesn't happen and you just stand up there and feel like you're not making it?
Well, yeah, but you kind of try and, you have little games that you play with yourself to turn yourself on, you know? And then, you know, I've got this band that I can, like, listen to the horns.
Yeah.
And if they're pushing, the horn players will turn me on. You can usually get yourself going.
You never had a desire to just leave the stage and say, I'm sorry it isn't working tonight, folks?
It's the best thing ever happened to me. I wouldn't leave.
Yeah. If you couldn't do it anymore, you'd be miserable, huh?
Yeah, I hope that by that time I'll have something else that's as groovy.
Yeah. Can you picture that? Can you picture yourself suddenly taking a complete turn in your life? And
Yeah, I'm going to learn how to bake organic bread and have babies.
Really? Possibly the convent? Hey, you know what groupies are? The question is, do I know what groupies are? There are these girls who sort of follow the rock groups around,
Yeah,
and
about it.
they anticipate brief encounters with the gentlemen in the groups and romances, not too detailed, I suppose. But I wondered if you few lady rock stars that there are there?
Not near enough.
No. There are no male groupies.
Not near enough, no.
Oh, somebody said about you and a couple other stars like yourself that, do you hate that word?
Yeah, it just drives me up the wall. Please.
Really? Water walls are very flimsy, so please don't go.
I'd rather call me a singer.
Okay. You are a singer.
Here.
The point was that you couldn't make several $100,000 a year and still sing the blues. Do you remember that? I don't remember. Maybe it was a Newsweek article or something. Maybe it was, in fact, it might have been one of your...
How much money that cat said it's making now?
No.
Well, quite a bit.
Oh, but I mean, is this necessarily a contradiction, that you could be terribly successful and be making all that money and still not be miserable? I assume that was his implication.
Well, I don't know what he was trying to say. But music is just... Hey, when you get up there and you're playing, it doesn't have anything to do with money. I mean, or it really shouldn't. And once you get on the stage, like all the money, you know, all that can go down with, you know, managers and stuff like that. But once you get playing, hey, playing's just about feeling. Playing isn't necessarily about misery. Mm-hmm. Playing isn't necessarily about happiness. But it's just about letting yourself feel all those things that you have already on the inside of you, but you're all the time trying to push them aside because they don't make for polite conversation or something. But if you just get up there, and that's the only reason I can sing is because I just close my eyes and let all those things that are inside just come out. It doesn't have anything to do with money.
What else really gives you pleasure? Do you snorkel? Do you snorkel?
No.
That's the best thing I've ever done. Not being able to get up and sing. I snorkel. Could I teach you to snorkel sometime?
Later.
I wasn't going to do it here. No one snorkels publicly that I know of. Would you say that I have soul?
I'm sure you do.
Do you really?
Sure, everybody does.
Who did I ask this of the other night? Whom? Oh, Dionne Warwick. Or Waddick. We decided that I had as much soul as that little finky guy in the pointed hat who sings, "Chew your little troubles away" on that. We'll be getting an aerosol can one of these days. I believe we have to pause. We'll be back after
the television across the...
In fact, I have not met Michael Thomas, but I have read pieces by him many times in most of our major magazines, I guess Esquire, Look, and Holiday, and where else have I read him? Ramparts. Yeah. And he is the movie critic for Status magazine, and he's quite a brilliant writer. He's writing his autobiography. It's titled Lies. He's much honored for the stuff he's written, and he's even 25 years old, which is another of his credits. Will you welcome most prolific gentleman, Michael Thomas. That looks more like Dean Ross to me. I don't know what it is. Sorry, Michael. It's funny, I should say that, because by saying that,
How are you?
What?
Did she say how are you?
No, by saying that implication about my looking like Dean Ross, because I read a piece of yours in which you refreshingly resented the assumptions that some people make from your appearance. But it wasn't the usual one. It wasn't that the so-called...
I'd like to change my appearance if I could think of something better, you know, but and I've been trying, you know, I mean, this is sneakers and...
I was thinking about your reference to your hair, though, because you were saying not the usual reaction to people's long hair, but it was the reaction of other people with long hair that you resented. Do you remember the piece sometime?
Well, it's just that everybody expects you to be their brother, you know, just because you have long hair, and there's a lot of people with long hair who I wouldn't want to be brothers with. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it seems that you can identify very quickly, and that's all right, except that you're not that all the time, you know. And so you have to respond. You have to imitate yourself. I mean, people want you to imitate yourself, you know. And after a while, it's silly. You know? It's just silly.
Yeah, I don't know if it was there's this piece you wrote on the generation gap or what that I was thinking of, but you were.
Well, all of that I resent. You know, I mean, I resent being all of these are kind of journalist notions, you know, and they're witty, but they don't explain anything. It seems to be silly, you know. I mean, I like all the women, you know, and it's I don't want to. I don't feel as though I'm part of a generation, especially, you know. And I don't feel I necessarily share, you know, what anything with, you know, an age group. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of. It's silly. It's just silly. It's silly to keep to expect people to behave the way they look like they're going to behave.
Mm-hmm. You also, I think, so that the phrase generation gap sort of excuse both people at both ends of the phrase.
Yeah, well, then everybody can say it's all right. You know, it's like saying I'm a bad guy. If you say you're a bad guy, then if you do anything wrong, you say, well, listen, I always said I was a bad guy. You know.
Yeah, the label is very comforting.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it excuses you.
What does it take to be a rock critic? What was your background for that?
I'd like to know that.
It takes being when you're a kid, you know, like listening to Elvis Presley and being fractured by it then, and it being like the music that you always dug a lot, you know, and if you like it, then if you're a writer, then you write about it, you know, because the people are interesting, and because it's this sort of tribal music that you like, you know, it's your tribe, and it just takes like some kind of response to the music, some sensual response, you know.
Do you think it gets a little out of your business? I mean, you know, don't you think writers take way too much on themselves?
Oh, hell, yeah, sure. But
I think that.
Well, I just think there's no point in writing about rock and roll at all, really. There's nothing really to say. There's just different ways of saying the same thing, you know. And it's a matter that it should just be, everybody should just enjoy it, you know?
Right, that's what it seems to me music's about. But I mean, these people, I've read columns, I mean, not even people that put me down, I mean, not people that I have a grudge against, but that spend, like, you know, pages upon pages comparing, you know, oh yes, I noticed the Schoenberg influence in this particular riff, when the guy was just going, shooby-dooby, man.
Shown because they considered it too esoteric and dark and spooky or something. I don't know why. It was really quite good. But at the end of it, yeah. But at the end of the screening, it was for a lot of actors and people. He opened the floor to questions, and people said, "Mr. Miller, I don't want to mention his name. Why did you use a carpet in that scene on the wall?" And he went into this long answer that was like, you know, it was incredible. One finds the entire history of Western art in the past 500 years as a sort of a travesty in original sense of word, sort of reclothing biblical stories into some sort of original, neurotic fretwork, sort of working through some.
But don't take it all away.
And a guy's walking out by this time, you know, saying, "I wanted to know why rugs on the wall." And it was a very odd experience. Do you find that there's too much celebration?
I find myself doing that all the time. You know?
Oh yeah, but you're not.
I find myself just exercising around something because I'm more interested really in writing about myself than anybody else anyway.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
And
I mean, all writers, they really expose themselves when they write about something. Especially, I find it very interesting if you know what it is they're writing about. Say, a show that I was at, you know, even if I didn't play, if I was there, and to read someone's criticism, you learn a whole lot about that particular critic. What he likes, what he doesn't like, you know, what his taste or what his mother was like. And all the time he's trying to put somebody down, you know.
Yeah.
And all the while you're reading just about him.
In defense of criticism, though, there are. I would agree with.
Music's just about trying to enjoy it, and you can't just sit down, you know, over a scotch and milk and enjoy it, man.
Well, interesting when I write about it is just moments that various moments that it made it or it didn't. You know, moments where I really smiled. You know, and moments where it really turned me off. You know, and it's no bigger than that, and I can't respond to it as anything more than just, you know, flashes of it. You know?
Yeah, for your piece on Jimi Hendrix, where you had a great deal to say about the way he plays a guitar, which that's interesting. I mean, but
well,
it isn't.
The way he plays the guitar is more interesting than what he plays on the guitar. You know, I mean, that's what he does. You know, he's play the guitar. He assaults it, he violates it, you know, and it's that interests me much more than what he plays, because they all, you know, sound alike.
Who do you go to listen to, Janis, if you want to really have a... Who are your favorites?
Tina Turner.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Tina Turner.
Yeah.
She's my current favorite. She's the best chick ever. Fantastic singer, great dancer, fantastic show.
Would you be shocked if I didn't know who Tina Turner was?
No, a lot of people don't, but that's too bad. She sings with the Ike and Tina Turner Review. Ike is her husband and band leader, and Tina's the show.
She's very terrific.
Come by some night, Tina. Hey, Michael, you did a piece once about Mick Jagger and something you had seen him do on the BBC. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, it was to do with what we were talking about before, about the older people worshipping the young people until they lose all their credibility and decency and dignity at all. And what happened at this show was when Jagger was on with, it was after he'd been arrested for drugs, and he was on with bishops and professors and dons and intellectuals. And they sat and chatted with him, and he wouldn't talk, you know, because he really didn't want to talk about it, and I guess he was tired. And he just sat there, and there's all these very distinguished people just begging him to, like, smile at them or say something to them, or recognize them at all, you know, as people, which he didn't do, you know, because he was feeling mean to them, I guess. And that seemed to me, you know, that was fine for him to do that, and I can understand why he did it, but at the same time, I hate to see all those other people doing that to him. You know, I hate to see people feeling as though they need some kind of approval from him, you know, just because he's hipper than them. You know, it seems to me that they're just degrading themselves, you know, and then losing it, you know, and that's why everybody's so worried about Mick Jagger, because he's lost them, you know, he's just lost them completely, and then they are trying to find him, and it becomes very ugly, you know, it's just ugly, and
what would you say in favor of the older generation?
Oh, I'm totally in favor of the older generation. I just think they failed. You know, I don't think anybody's... But it's not bad to fail. I mean, you know, they tried and they failed, and we should, you know, just say, well, they failed, you know, but I mean, I don't think we should destroy them or hurt them in any way, you know, because you know, they're ours.
It's okay, man.
You know, I mean, they're all we've got. They're the only older generation we've got, you know. So.
It isn't as if the younger generation has necessarily succeeded either.
Oh, not by no means. No, I'm no more confident of this generation than that. You know.
You know?
Well, no, I don't think so. No.
I am.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
I'll fight it out, you two. Committee describes themselves as an instant review, and they established themselves in Los Angeles. Their work comes out of improvisation, largely, and they're going to be on a new ABC show called The Music Scene. At the moment, they're going to be on this ABC show. Will you welcome, please, the committee? Or they're already here, actually.
Would you hide your presents?
Yes,
Oh,
very
he would be so excited.
Thank
Just
you.
wait.
Oh, did you get the cake? Oh, yes, it's got 79 cents.
You know what they call a senior citizens home, so you know where he is? Hi. Hi. How's the lights? Surprise!
Sorry, you can't pass through this area. We've got some trouble. You're going to have to find an alternate route.
Sorry, this street is closed. You'll have to go back the other way. Just move along.
Look, lady, I've told you once, I've told you twice. Move, go another way, all right? Sorry, could you break this up here? Could you clear the sidewalk here? Let's move along, folks. Let's break this up, please. Can we break... have your attention, please? It is my duty to inform you you constitute an illegal assembly.
Yeah, who's that? Hey. Hey, Blood, what time's Roger gonna get back?
Works, huh?
Did you, Roger?
Yeah.
Hey, man, what'd you do to yourself?
I had iodine tablets, sun lamp treatments, and I got my hair processed. I'm black like you. Works all right, huh?
Oh, wow, you white folks don't want us to have nothing exclusive, do you?
You know, see, I got a gig with Esquire magazine. I'm doing a piece on what it's like to be black in Lindsay's Harlem in the summer using the white man's syntax.
Oh, that ought to be a lot of fun, so long as none of them brothers invite you out to a dance.
No. That's really why I asked you to come over, man, because I look the part right.
Well, listen, if you move fast, you'll make a blur. Most white folks can't tell the difference.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, behavior is what I'm interested in. That's
soul lessons.
Right.
Right, I've been waiting for this all my life.
Yeah, but, okay. I've been working on a walk for about 2 weeks. I'd like to just show you, see what you think, okay? This is it.
Right. Oh, wow, baby, that must hurt.
No, I figure it shows the weight of oppression over the centuries.
Oh, yeah, well, this old hat, man, there's a whole new thing in now. You know, black is back.
Oh, right.
You know, when you walk, you gotta have a little dip in your hip, a little cut in your stride, a little pride in your stride, you know? It's like when you're walking, you're listening to cosmic music, and the music demonstrates itself through your body, how you move, you know?
Tico,
no, north of the border, you know? It's, look, let me show you. You start at tempo, right? And then move out. Bing, dang, bam, 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 ding, ding. You want to leave your head one way or the other because it helps you turn corners. You know? Don't blow all night, man. Let's see that. All right. One more shoulder. Yeah, right. More shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah. Well, okay, now, I'm gonna have to talk to black people.
Yeah, well, that's easy. We just run down some pigs.
Well, there's gotta be other situations. Let's say this is a street corner. We're waiting for a bus. You're waiting for a bus. I'm gonna ask you. So,
Okay, I'm waiting for a bus. Now, where in the heck is that pile of metal nonsense Whitey calls a bus?
Hey there, fellow baby. Do the bust a few gardens down. I'm going down to my sister beauty shop to have some black-eyed greens and hog collar.
No, man. If you run that down on the brothers, we're gonna have a long, hot summer all year round.
I tell you, it's kind of offensive to me, too, but it's the only frame of reference I got, like Amos and Andy radio shows.
Oh, no, man. No, listen, what about the Days radio show? The soul disc jockey. Suck it to me. Do your thing,
right,
you know?
Okay, try it again.
Okay, the bus is coming. Oh, here it comes. Let's go on with this bus. Bring it right down front, Whitey. Let's have that bus. There it goes.
How you like that?
Hey, man, you see that cat pass ass up down? Steal his hubcap.
Let it all burn.
Yeah,
Right.
get a drummer song.
Sure.
No. It's a greeting, man. I don't want any money. You know, like you put your hand out, show what I mean. Let's say, give the drummer some.
Give the drummer some.
No, man. Never show any pain, otherwise the brothers don't know you white up under that tan. Well, try it again, all right?
Okay.
Get a drummer some. Right on. Yeah, I can dig it. Yeah. That's a fight. Want to keep it in the hand.
Now, I'm going to have to talk to white people.
Hey, well, that's your problem. I ain't got nothing.
No, it's going to be the first person I talk to is probably going to be like Hertz rent-a-car cat, at the airport. I'm going to have to get a car.
Oh, you want me to be a Hertz?
Yeah, you be a white Hertz rent-a-car agent.
Well, it's temporary, yeah.
Right, yeah, and
I'll be very deeply involved in stuff like important stuff, pencils and paper clips.
Say, baby, I'd like to cop a short.
I beg your pardon. Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'd like to rent one of your automobiles.
I see. May I see some sort of identification, please?
Sure. Here's my American Express card.
Oh, my. Aren't we making progress?
Some of us are making progress, others still working for Hertz,
Here's your card, sir.
Thank you.
Now, what kind of car did you want, sir?
Let's have a Rebel.
You did want that in white.
Oh, no, black. Let's keep it down where it's at, you know.
Excuse me, sir, the phone.
Say, could I get my car first, man?
Just a moment, sir. We'll get back to you in a moment.
You could call Governor Wallace back, you know.
Please try to keep your voice down, sir. After all, these things do take time.
So, about 5 minutes, I'm gonna be pretty hot, man. We're gonna burn down the phone company.
Now, don't get excited in here. We just one more thing, the insurance form. There it is. Here's a pen. You can write.
Oh, yeah, you taught us how to write in your crumbling school system, you did, just like you taught me how to fight and kill in the army.
Now, let's not get political about it. There's no reason to get political about signing an insurance form.
Man to man.
Don't you wave your hand in my front like that. Boy, don't you know about it?
You don't call me boy.
I'll call you, I'll call a policeman in here.
Dumb as you are.
Don't you call me dumb. I'll come up there, I'll kill you.
No, I'm white.
That's the committee, and this is a commercial.
The only sitcom to break ground from a deluxe apartment in the sky. The Jeffersons, weeknights at 5.
Okay. How did you guys, not you guys, you gentlemen and ladies,
Get started.
get all this thing going?
My wife and I got married.
Yeah.
And we moved
That's
to
how you got started.
We moved to San Francisco and started a theater and hired a bunch of friends.
Yeah. There are more committees than one. I believe you're in San Francisco.
No, we have one committee, but there are 25 people spread out all over.
Oh, you don't have one running in L.A. and San Francisco?
Well, we have a theater in L.A. and a theater in San Francisco and some people in New York and scattered around. But it's just one group that mushes back and forth depending on how they're needed.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we had 4 companies, one in L.A., one in San Francisco, one in London, and one in Anaheim.
Oh, how's the Anaheim company doing?
Oh, they were sacco.
So how does your working together work? Can you give us an idea how a piece of material comes about?
Well, we're going to do something later on, which is a forum that you're going to be in.
Am I in this?
Yes, that's the one that you're in. So we can get into that then.
All right, fine. And what's the show you're going to do?
Music Scene. It's a television show, and Janis is going to be on the first one.
Does Janis know that?
Pat calls me.
Yeah.
Oh, are you? Great.
And
My TV guide, actually, to tell you the truth. That's where I found
That's how you found out? And what will it be?
it's ABC. I got to run down all the facts fast.
Great.
ABC. The committee stars in it, and we host the thing. It's the top song of the year or the week, and there are pop stars like Miss Joplin.
Will you involve Janis in comedy improvisation?
Maybe, but mostly she'll just be doing her own stuff. Everybody will do their own thing, as the saying goes.
To coin a phrase. Let's do the thing we were going to do.
All right, but first, I'd like to suggest that we get out of Vietnam.
Is that where we are? Do we step up there?
Yes.
All of us?
Yes, everybody, I guess.
Is this going to hurt at all?
Gary will explain it.
Okay, we're in your hands.
Right.
Okay.
I have to explain this to the theater audience because I have to get suggestions from you. This is a new art form. It's in 1927, in a ski hut just outside Gstaad, Switzerland, 3 men were trapped by an avalanche. The 3 men were Konstantin Stanislavski, Sigmund Freud, and John Philip Sousa. And while they were trapped there, they decided to while away the time by inventing a new art form, and this is what they came up with. It's called the Symphony of Emotions. And we'd like to perform an emotional symphony for you now. But we need an emotion for each of our musicians to play. So we need a wide range of emotions. Good emotions, bad emotions, whichever you may consider are good or bad. First of all, can we have an emotion for Dick?
Yes.
Love was the first one I heard.
Yes, but only one person said it.
Oh. Well, okay. Love. An emotion for Morgan. What is that, please? Violence? Is that an emotion or a way of life? Hate. Hate, I hear. Hate. Thank you. An emotion from when? What was that?